All right, everyone, welcome in as I'm throwing on my headsets, as always, coming in hotter than ever. It's Thrift, Barringer, Richard, Holdridge, Big Rich. What's going on, man?
Oh, man, what is going on, Thrift? Glad to be here. Is another exciting Georgia Alabama Sports Live show.
Yeah, no doubt, Richard, your mic's not connected. We're getting you from, I think, either another mic or maybe a computer mic. So maybe check that for a second. But we are live here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Great show in store for you here tonight. For those that are just now tuning in, we just ended the Columbus Central feed. They are heading in the bottom of the 10th there. Central leads that one. Columbus and Central were in a good one, Rich. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Kelly Ellison and the Hardaway Hawks trying to go for back-to-back state championships as well. We'll get into that, Rich, and a whole bunch more. We also will drop our soccer power rankings, and we got two incredible guests here, Rich. We got joining us is Dr. Griff Gordy in just a minute. He is of Gordy Eye Care. Many of y'all know him as state championship winning quarterback of the Central Red Devils from 1993. Also, he's a councilman there. He is, I think, Mr. Phoenix City, in my opinion. And we're going to get his thoughts on, well, for one, we're going to get his story, which we always like doing on here, and what from playing days at Central to what led him into ultimately starting Gordy Eye Care. Then we'll talk about our partnership, why he loves support the community, even talk about why he even got into politics, which I think he's getting out, but I'll let him tell that here when we have him joining us. He was one of our presenting sponsors last year, and this year we got an even bigger thing that we're doing with him that I think is very specific, and I'm looking forward to doing that. All right, Rich, how are you been doing, man? As you were live from CVCC today, you've been ripping and running. We had baseball games going on for the last couple of days. Weather's also moved some games. I know it's going to be some bad inclement weather coming in here tonight.
Very true, Thrift. Can you hear me?
Yes, you are coming in loud and clear through that mic that you just had in your hand, Rich.
Yeah, well, I've had
Listen, if this doesn't show you how me and Rich are flying by the seat of our pants, I'm putting on my headset. Rich is literally tested out a mic on live broadcast. That shows you all we do is have fun, man. That's the only thing we can do.
Well, all we do is grind.
Yeah, every day. And by the way, speaking of grind, tomorrow we got a big time day tomorrow, Rich. And I know you're excited about it too, because guess what? We're live from Sam Mark Foundation Basketball Awards Luncheon being hosted at St. Luke Ministry Center. Sam Mitchell, former NBA Coach of the Year from this area, played at Columbus High. Mark Upshaw, they call it the Michael Jordan of this area during the 1980s. They have been doing this for the last 5 years. DJ instrumental part, DJ Jones of Sports Visions, and it's presented by Sports Visions. We're going to have 16 local high schools involved in it, Rich, and we're going to be making sure that we are celebrating all the fantastic players, athletes, teams, and looking forward to announcing who those players of the years are and more. And man, what a time it's going to be. 11:30 tomorrow. You can watch it on Georgia Alabama Sports Live Facebook and YouTube, and Sports Vision's Facebook and YouTube. If you're not able to make it in person, it is going to be a ton of fun, Richard. I know you're looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah, I am absolutely looking forward to it. It'll be my third one as we honor the basketball players from this area. And we've added some new teams like Chaco, Harris County, Russell County. And we filled out our ballot, and we have the results. And can't wait to present them tomorrow at the St. Luke's Ministry Center.
Again, 11:30 is what time it will start. We'll have it streamed, and it will be a ton of fun. Kind of put it in a bow, even though, Rich, Kelly Ellison team still have to play on Saturday.
Still have to play, yes.
At Macon Coliseum. All right, let's take a quick break, Rich, to sew up a commercial. And then when we come back, we're going to have our special guest, Griff Gordy, Gordy Eye Care.
Hi, my name is Griff Gordy, and here at Gordy Eye Care, we have been serving the Bi-City community for 17 years. As a former state championship quarterback, I love the fact that I can watch local high school athletics from the comfort of my own home. So it was a no-brainer to support Georgia Alabama Sports Live and what they do for young athletes in our area.
And without business like yourself, Gordy Eye Care, none of our coverage would be possible to be able to cover the 16 different high schools, the local colleges, and professional teams. So we'd like to say thank you to you, Dr. Griff Gordy and Gordy Eye Care, for your support of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And then you can make an appointment today at Gordy Eye Care with the number 334-291-5125. keep supporting Gordy Eye Care, and keep watching Georgia Alabama Sports Live. I still like that commercial. We're going to be cutting a new one, but I still like it. It was one of my first ever commercials that I actually wrote and put together. Didn't know what I was doing, but me and Griff made it look good. Let's go ahead and bring him on, Rich. He is Dr. Griff Gordy of Gordy Eye Care, the man, the myth, the legend, finally coming on. How are you doing, Griff?
I'm doing great tonight, Thrift. How are you guys doing?
Excellent, man. Thank you so
Doing
much
great.
for joining us. Hope all is well. First things first, without your support last year and this year, man, don't know where Georgia Alabama Sports Live would be. Well, I don't think we've even met in person, but I messaged you, and the first thing you said, man, I'm down. Let's do it. And that kind of, I think, resembles the man you are, Griff, and what this community means to you. So without further ado, let's get into your story, man. And the best way I think about telling your story, I always say, is just letting you do it uninterrupted with no question. So start for where you're from, where you played Little League, leading up all the way where you're at right now. Griff, floor is yours. Take as long as you want. The whole community is interested in knowing about Griff Gordy.
Well, listen, I appreciate you guys having me on. And first of all, I'm excited to be a part of the Georgia Alabama Sports Live. I'm excited to be able to support these kids because that's, this is where I grew up. And, we'll talk a little bit more about that, but it's just always an honor and a privilege to be able to support these young guys, these young athletes and what they do, because this can be, it's such a great thing for them. Sports is such a great thing in general because you learn so much about life through sports. And it's always, I think about the people that helped support me when I was growing up, and I'm glad that I'm able to do that for others today. So I appreciate you guys having me on. So I'm born and raised in Phoenix City, Alabama. This is my hometown. You want to talk about Little League? I played Dixie Youth Baseball at the old fields down off of Stadium Drive. They're still there. I think they use them every once in a while for practice, but, you don't see any games there anymore. I played basketball at the Boys Club, Phoenix City Boys Club. I played football at the Phoenix City Boys Club growing up. And, my aspirations as a kid was always to play football, baseball for Central High School. That's where I wanted to be. I grew up 2 blocks from the stadium, and I grew up going to every game every Friday night. I grew up, if I wasn't able to go, for some reason my parents couldn't take me, I'd sit on my curb outside my house and I'd listen to the games through the PA announcer so I would know what was going on because I didn't want to miss anything. So I grew up a Red Devil. I grew up listening to and watching the greats before me, Ed King, Marco Battle, just James Joseph, guys that just are just amazing football players, Danny Lee, people like that. So it was my dream just to be a part of that. And I got to high school and I started being able to make that dream become a reality. I started with South Girard and played baseball and football at South Girard. And when I got to high school, I played baseball and football at Central, and was fortunate enough to work hard, through those years. And my senior year of football, we were able to bring a state championship home to Central and to Phoenix City for the first time ever. And I still, to this day, can't believe it was the first one because we had so many great teams. But it's just a testament to how hard it is to win a state championship. And it was just a dream come true for myself and my teammates and Coach Trawick, who was our coach at that time. It was just a dream come true. And then after that, I had my senior year of baseball, and my senior year of baseball at Central. A lot of people don't remember this, but we played for a state championship my senior year in baseball as well. We played against Vestavia Hills High School, and we played in the finals and got beat in the finals, or we would have had a state championship in baseball and football the same year. Central did not win a baseball state championship until just a few years back. So that was it was an honor to be able to play for a state championship in baseball the same year that we won the state championship in football. So that was my high school career. It was a great career. I was fortunate to be a part of that family. I moved on after that and went to Auburn University of Montgomery. AUM is it was the NAIA school when I played. I think they're Division II now. It was NAIA school when I played, and had a great career at AUM. I was a redshirt 1 year, then played for 4 years. We had 1 year where we were ranked nationally #1 in the nation. We were one game away from going to a World Series my junior year. We just had some great teams there, and I was glad to be a part of that. Coach QV Lowe, I don't know if y'all know who QV Lowe is or not, but he was an Auburn great back in his day and was just a great baseball coach. My career ended there. I'm thankful for all the time and opportunity I have. I was thankful that it got me through my undergraduate years of college. I'm thankful for what the game of football and baseball has done for my life. After that, I decided to go to optometry school at UAB in Birmingham, and I finished my degree at UAB in Birmingham, and I moved back to the Prattville area and got a job with a Montgomery practice for 4 years. And I loved the job. I loved where I was, but my heart was always in Phoenix City. And so, after about 4 years there, they were asking me if I wanted to be a partner. And I told them, I'd love to be a partner, but I got to go back home. And, so that was my journey back to Phoenix City. I came back to Phoenix City in 2007, and I opened up Gordy Eye Care in August of 2007. And I've been here ever since. Been a part of the community ever since. Started from the ground up. Opened the doors. My mom and my dad were my first patients. That's how it was. When we opened up then. So, we started from scratch, but we worked hard. Me and my wife Jennifer, she helped me every step of the way. My dad helped me every step of the way, trying to get the practice built. And it was just an amazing journey. And I was just so thankful that I was able to come back home to Phoenix City so that I could establish my practice here, but more importantly, to establish myself and my family into my hometown and to be a part of that. And like you said, the politics, yes, I got into the politics 2016, I think, is my first year. I was 9 years. I got out in October of last year, so I haven't been in the city council since October of last year, but 9 years doing that. And, just because I love my city, I wanted to do whatever I could to serve my city and be a part of growth in the city of Phoenix City. And so that was a great experience. I'm glad that I'm done, to be honest with you. I miss some of the relationships I've had, but it was a time that I'm glad that I went through to learn more about the city and how it's run and the ins and outs of that. But so that brings me to today. Here I am, almost 20 years strong with Gordy Eye Care. And like you said, I am grateful every single day to get up and have the job that I have, to have the support that I have from my family and my kids, and to have the support that I have from the people that work here for me. I couldn't do what I do here at Gordy Eye Care if it wasn't for the amazing staff and the people that I have working for me. And from that, we get to give back to the community. And that's the most important thing, is that we're able to give back to the community through what we do.
No doubt about it, man. A lot we're going to unpack right there, Griff. And I want to go back to your playing days. What was it like playing for Trawick? Who were some of your mentors in your life, whether it be coaches or anyone else that helped? I know you mentioned your father, maybe it was your parents, or who were some of those mentors? But first, start with the legend, Coach Trawick, and that being that until 2018, that was the golden year. It was like Georgia fan and like DJ Jones, that 1980 national championship. That on your lore until this recent run with Kirby Smart. But talk about what it was like playing for him and some of the mentors you have in your life.
Well, Coach Trawick would just seem bigger than life. When I was growing up, Coach Trawick was just an amazing figure. He was, to me, on the high school level. I grew up an Alabama fan. I'm an Alabama fan. And so I always grew up watching Coach Bryant, on the sidelines of Alabama. Well, I equated Coach Trawick to Coach Bryant just on the high school level. That's the way I felt about Coach Trawick. I felt like he was a Coach Bryant. He was just a Coach Bryant for Central High School.
Right.
He was just a great man, a great person, and an outstanding coach. And it was just an honor to play for him. And it was even more of an honor to bring a state championship and to him, because he had been coaching for so many years for Central and established such a great football program for Central. So Coach Trawick was one of a kind for sure.
Other mentors in your life, Griff, that have had a great influence on you, whether it be coaches or just friends in general? Who are some of those influences that help allow you to be the successful man that you are, Griff?
Yeah, first and foremost, my dad. My dad passed away in 2009, so he was here long enough to see me open Gordy Eye Care, and he was a big part of helping me do that. He passed away with cancer, but my dad was always my biggest supporter. From the time I could stand up and walk, my dad, he would be out there throwing baseball with me, throwing football with me, and he coached me through a lot of my little league years. And when he couldn't coach me anymore, he was still my biggest fan. And so my dad was just a huge part of me growing up as a ball player and the person that I am today. From a coaching standpoint, Coach Ron Nelson, who is still at Glenwood, his son Ryan is head football coach at Glenwood, but Coach Ron Nelson coached me baseball and football. He was the offensive coordinator under Coach Trawick. He was the head baseball coach at Central, And he was like a second father to me. I spent a lot of time with Coach Nelson, during the season, in the off season when we weren't supposed to be practicing, and I might have been out on that football field throwing passes, and he might have been. Him and Coach Trey would spend a lot of time on the ride lawnmower watching us throw, without being able to supervise us, so per se.
Right.
But he meant a lot. He's meant a lot to my life and to the person that I've become and the ball player I became, football player and baseball player. So Coach Ron Nelson was really instrumental in that. And to this day, I love being able to see him and talk to him and talk about old times and the things that we were able to accomplish. Woodrow Lowe, Eddie Lowe, both of them were extremely big, and especially in Central football. Coach Woodrow Lowe was there coaching us, and he was there for the state championship. Eddie Lowe was the mayor. We'll call him the mayor now because he's been the mayor of Phoenix City for a long time. He wasn't an official coach, but he was always there.
Right.
He was always there supporting us, and they just the lessons they brought from all of the years of experience they had in professional football between NFL and Canadian Football League. They just brought so much and so much desire and so much motivation and so much support for us, and they meant a lot to us. Woodrow brought in our strength and conditioning program, and when I tell you that we were in shape, man, it was amazing the shape that he got us in. I'll never forget in our state championship year when we were playing teams in the fourth quarter, we could tell that we were going to beat teams. We were so much better shape than other teams were that we could look across the line of scrimmage and just tell that they were done. And that was a testament to the shape he got us in. A lot of times you can be toe to toe from an X's and O's standpoint, from a talent standpoint. But when the game's on the line in the fourth quarter, if you got that extra gear that you can get into because you worked your butt off to get in shape, it makes a huge difference. And he was a big part of that. So Woodrow and Eddie Lowe were very instrumental as well. Coach Charles Kelly, I don't know if y'all know Coach Charles Kelly or not, but he's the Jacksonville State head football coach now. He coached me, and I'll tell a quick story about when I was in ninth grade. He was our head football coach, and we played back then. We were practicing at the old Central High School, which is South Railroad Street, which is PCIS now, and the varsity high school team practiced on the big field. We practiced just on like a patch of grass that was located between the varsity football field and the school. And so the varsity would finish up their practices, and they walked by us when we were getting ready to finish. And Coach Kelly made us, as ninth graders, he made us break down at the end of every practice state champions. And the varsity would walk by us and laugh at us. They're like, you can't even win a state championship in ninth grade. And so they thought it was funny, but Coach Kelly knew what he was doing. He was getting us in the mindset as ninth graders that one day we were going to beat state champions. And I think it's such a cool story to tell because it didn't mean much at the time, but it did get us in that mindset that, hey, as a group, we're going to lead this Red Devil school to a state championship. And ultimately, that's what we did. And so Coach Kelly, he was instrumental. He was just out of Auburn University then, so he was young and he was fresh out of school, and it was fun to look up to him because we knew that he played for Auburn University football. And even to this day, I still talk to him. I'll tell you a story about him. He was at Georgia Tech as a defensive coach, and when my dad passed away in April, so he was in the off season, but they were in spring, and he showed up at my dad's funeral. And I just thought that was amazing because I hadn't seen him in many years, and just the relationship that we built, it just kind of threw me, got me a little emotional when he showed up, but it just meant a lot to know that he was there for me, even after the years where he coached me. And so I thought that was very instrumental as well. And then I can't, talk about role models and mentors unless I talk about the players that came before me. I love Marco Battle. That dude was amazing. No matter what sport he played, he was amazing. But football, baseball, basketball, he could do it all. And I always looked up to him and wanted to be like him. James Joseph, Bo Peep, everybody loved watching him play running back. He could do things that most high school football players can't do. It was fun. It was fun watching him. Ed King was a man among boys when he played. I remember running out on the field and after games, and I'd shake his hand, and I felt like I was just shaking the hand of a giant. It was just so huge. Watching him play. And then there were some quarterbacks that before me that were mentors to me. Johnny Griggs was one. I don't know if y'all know Johnny or not, but Johnny was a quarterback at Central, and he would come pick me up when I was in ninth grade and take me to throw football, to run stadiums, to do things and kind of took me under his wing and helped me to grow as a young quarterback. And without him, that made a huge difference as well for me. So, I mean, the list can go on and on. I can tell you about people. The Red Devil family is a close-knit group, and we always love to get together and talk talk about the old times. But, it takes so much to win a state championship or to be successful. And even all the people before me that came years and years before me and before our team just played such a huge role in that. And it's good to look back and see all the people that you have in your life that can be influential like that and to be such a strong support system for you.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We're joined by Dr. Griff Gordy of Gordy Eye Care. When I say hometown hero, you get it. He is that when you go to the dictionary and you say hometown hero, what do you get? Someone like Griff Gordy, who literally comes back to his town and creates jobs for people. Also a Columbus councilman trying to make life better for everyone else. And we appreciate you joining us. Richard, I know you've been dying to ask a question for the legend himself.
Absolutely. Dr. Gordy, it's actually an honor to finally get to see you face to face. I know I've heard a lot of stories. And when I'm driving down Somerville Road, I turn to my right and I see Garrett Harrison Stadium. And I see those 3 football championships, and I know that 93 team meant a lot to you. But when you talk about not just Central, but the whole area itself, just the passion with all these schools, the rivalries that Central has with Russell County, Smith Station, Auburn, Opelika, and now Glenwood, now that they're in the AHSAA, how important is it to continue to have these rivalries and to have these teams on the schedule? I mean, I know someday we want to see Central play Carver in football. I know that they haven't played in a long time, but how important are these rivalries, especially not just for the community of Phoenix City, but also for the community of Columbus?
Well, I think it's extremely important. It gets the community excited. We know how much talent we have in this area, whether it's the Phoenix City side, the Columbus side. We've got football players, baseball players, basketball players, soccer players, softball players, flag football players. I mean, it's amazing the talent that we have in this community. To have the rivalries it just makes it that much more special. So I think it's extremely important that we continue to grow from a standpoint of competing against one another locally. I think it's amazing that we finally get to see Glenwood compete against Central and Russell County and Smiths and Columbus and Northside. For how many years do we always talk about Glenwood? Yeah, their baseball program is great, but can they compete against other guys? Well, we got that answer really quickly. We got that answer very fast last year. Not only can they compete, they're going to be pretty dominant in what they do from a baseball standpoint. So I think it's amazing. And like you mentioned, the Central Carver thing. Central and Carver used to play. It's been many years since they have, and a lot of times it was a spring jamboree, so it wasn't like a true rivalry. But I think that would be amazing. Carver is doing so well from a football standpoint right now. They have so much talent coming out of that school. It would be great to see Central and Carver play. I'll tell you this right now. I don't know if Coach Flournoy wants to add them to the schedule he's already put together for next year, but it would be amazing to see that. And so I hope that's something that we can see in the future. And Richard, you hit the nail on the head, though. I mean, we got to keep these rivalries going in this community. And it's great to see that Glenwood and some of these other AISA schools now can compete and they can prove, how good that they really are when they've been here for years. They aren't that good, So I think it's been amazing. I think it's just so good. The Georgia Alabama Sports Live Network has been so good to me because, a lot of nights I'll get home and I'll pull up Georgia Alabama Sports Live just to see what I can find. I'll find something to watch because I know there's something going to be on, and it's always interesting to see, these young athletes compete against one another.
No doubt about it, Griff. And we're going to talk about the partnership and what we got coming up. And I promise you a little teaser. This is not going to be the only time you'll be seeing Griff Gordy on a Georgia Alabama Sports Live show or stream in the not too distant future. But Griff, I want to go back, and I like giving advice to the younger generation. Okay. And so a lot of our younger generation turn their nose up at opportunities that they get. And I see posts all the time talking about, well, if it ain't D1, somebody's getting in their ear and they ain't getting NIL money, they need to turn away. Junior college, NAIA, which I'm like, if it's free, like my good friend Corey Black said, D-free, you're getting a free education. You don't turn that down because not everybody's going to be the superstar athlete. So what's your advice to the young generation out there that, dude, you were state champion winning quarterback. You were the man around here, and then you were the man on the baseball field. You went to college, and guess what? All that stopped, and you had to have a plan in place to be successful in your second life. So this is your time to talk to the young generation about having that plan in place when that ball stops bouncing.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is from a ball playing standpoint, no matter what sport you play in, it's hard to tell kids this, but they really need to step back and enjoy what they have because it will be gone before they know it. And whether that is ending at the high school level, at the collegiate level, at the professional level, wherever that ends for them, it is short-lived. It does not last very long. And, as you get older, you realize that. When you play, you're like, man, I wish I could have stepped back and just realized how special this was and how lucky we were to be a part of that and have those opportunities. But from a future standpoint, like you said, any opportunity you have, if you love the game that you play, it should not matter where that opportunity comes from. Any opportunity that you have, you take advantage of that opportunity. If you have the desire to play past the high school level, it should not matter what school comes calling to you. If they give you an opportunity, you take that opportunity and you make the most of it and enjoy the time that you have, in that situation. From a standpoint of life after sports, obviously that's going to come. And I think it's really important in this day and age, and who knows what we'll be talking about 5 years from now, because with NIL coming into play in high school sports, it's scary. From my standpoint, it's scary. For the kids, I think they get excited, but I get scared that they're going to get money, be young, not really understand how the real world works, and it's going to be difficult for them to pursue life outside of that. And so my advice is to just remember that sports will end. At some point, it's going to end. You're going to have something else to do. Find something that you love. Find something that you love outside of sports, whatever it is, whether it's being an eye doctor, which is what I chose to do because I was lucky enough to get a job when I was in college to work for an eye doctor. And he was an amazing person. He was a mentor in my life from a standpoint of getting me where I am with Gordy Eye Care. Or if it's to be involved in sports some other way, whether it's sports broadcasting like you guys have done, or whether it's sports medicine where you might be a athletic trainer, or just get involved. Stay focused in school, because if you don't stay focused in school and then later on in life you're like, man, I wish I could do this, and you didn't get the things done in school that you need to get done, it's just going to make it more difficult for you. So the same focus that you put in your sports, the same focus that you put in your practice and your training, put that into your education, because the education is going to mean so much for you once you get past those days of sports, and unfortunately for all of us, those days end, and so you got to have something to fall back on. Just the main thing is just enjoy the ride that you have, but always find what you love to do outside of sports so that you can pursue that.
All right, let's talk about the partnership, man. So Gordy Eye Care, one of the original presenting sponsors, Glenn Smith, Gordy Eye Care, and another company that we won't mention, but we're a coat company right now. But Gordy was one of the very first at the beginning, and again, so appreciative of that. And so for 2026, we got something even special. We're going to have a vision moment of the game that's going to be starting here, in which we pick one of the top moments of each broadcast that we do that we'll be able to showcase and talk about. Not only that, Griff, that we're going to have you on our show. We're going to try to do it bi-weekly, but you know how schedules sometimes. But we're going to have you on here periodically to talk about any of the big topics, whether it be NIL, what kids are going through, what it's like to be a parent nowadays, what coaches are going through. We're getting the insight from a guy that has been very successful from around this area. And then, more importantly, we're going to be dropping some PSAs. Yes, we want people to go to Gordy Eye Care. I know I sent you CVCC's coach, Mo Scott. He came by there, had one of the best experiences. He's from Louisiana. I'm all about promoting people there, but we also want to get out good information. And we think screen time is dangerous, Griff.
Yeah,
and now
absolutely.
more than ever, especially kids, it is hurting their social development. It's hurting them being able to process and how to handle tough, challenging things, because they got to go to their phone to be able to find the answer instead of using their own brain. So talk about the partnership, why you want to be involved, and what are you looking forward to here in the near future with us here at Georgia Alabama Sports Live, Dr. Gordy?
Well, I'm excited because, we it didn't take long for us to come up with a vision. You guys brought it up. I'm like, this is amazing because this is something I'm fixing to actually go try to get some extra classes on to study with the screen time and with kids. I actually got back from Atlanta a couple of weeks ago where I sat 2 days in classes, and the majority of my classes were about kids and their screen time that they have and the effects it has on their eyes. And I sat in there and I learned a lot about AI too. We talked a little bit about AI because that's just the way the world is going. But with AI comes, guess what? More screen time. If we're dealing with AI, we're probably going to have more screen time as well. And so one of the most profound things I heard when I was just sitting in class talking to this is, 5-7 years ago, our message to kids was get off the screen, get off the screen. Well, if you realistically look at it today, we can't tell kids to get off the screen. Everything they do is on a screen. Everything we do is on a screen. So it's not realistic to tell kids, hey, you just got to get off your screen time. They do all their school on the screens. They do everything at home on the screens. When we're teaching them sometimes about sports or classes, we're showing them a screen. So it's not about getting off a screen. It's about what can we do to make you healthier while you're doing the things that you do. And that's one of the things I think we're going to really focus on is kids spend a lot of time on the screen, and that's not going to change.
No.
But a lot of that can cause them to have problems with their eyes. The number one factor is dry eyes. When you hear about dry eyes, a lot of times you think older people. Older people have dry eyes because we get older, we can't produce tears like we used to could. But when you're talking about screen time, kids have a big time problem with dry eyes now. And it's driven by screen time. And
what do you mean by dry eyes, Dr. Gordy?
Dry eyes could mean a lot of different things. It could mean that their eyes are watering a lot. And people ask me all the time, how can my eyes be watering if they're dry? And I'm like, well, because your eyes are dry and they're sending a message to your brain that you need more tears. And so what you're doing is you're producing an influx of tears, and they're reflux tears, and they start pouring down your face because your eyes are dry. And so when we're staring at a screen, we tend to not blink as much as we normally do. And if you're staring at a screen 6, 8, 10 hours a day, then you're not pushing tears over your eyes with your blinking. And so your eyes are drying out. That can cause problems to the surface of your eyes, which can create even more problems. So, a lot of times we'll hear kids complain. And a lot of times when we hear kids complain, our thought is, they're just complaining, but it's a real thing. And it's a real thing that has really ramped up over the past 10 years because the screen time has ramped up over the past 10 years. And so there's a lot of things that we can do. And at Gordy Eye Care, we're going to start focusing on those things, getting public service announcements out so that parents can maybe understand, hey, maybe their kids are having some problems that they're talking about and ways that we can fix this. There's treatments that are coming out. There's just things that are going to be really beneficial to the younger generation because we know that we can't get them off the screen. That's just part of life today. And so we're going to do everything that we can to keep their eyes healthy while they're doing that.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it, Griff, and we're going to call it the 2020 segment because we're going to get it real through the lens of Griff Gordy, baby. Looking forward to that on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Griff, from the bottom of my heart and everyone in this community, thank you so much for what you do, not just for Georgia Alabama Sports Live, but for supporting Phoenix City Little League. I see Gordy Eye Care on there, whether it be Central, Glenwood, Smith Station, any of the schools in Alabama, you support them. You're not just limited to just one school. I know everybody, you graduate from Central, but you love all Phoenix City communities. So thank you so much, man, and look forward to having you on many times.
Well, listen, I'm looking forward to it as well. I appreciate you guys having me on tonight. I love sitting down and talking sports, so I'm looking forward to the other segments that we have. And just thank you guys so much, Thrift and Richard, for having me on. It's been a pleasure talking to you guys tonight.
Before I let you go, Griff, how can someone make an appointment right now if they need to come and fix their dry eyes or get them some glasses or whatever it need to be?
I'll give you our phone number is 334-291-5125. You can get us on our Facebook page. We have a messenger on our Facebook page where you can message us and we'll get back to you. Anything like that, we'll get in touch with you and we'll be glad to set anybody up for an appointment.
Dr. Gordy, thank you so much, man. We'll talk to you later, Griff.
Thank you, guys. Y'all have a good night.
That's Griff Gordy, man. I'm telling you, I got texts, right? I literally had 3 people text me. One of them, Jay Shields, a couple other guys, and like, how did you get the legend on? And I'm like, listen, that's what happens when you're cool like Thrift Barringer. No, let me stop. I know people are literally rolling their eyes at me right now. Griff, looking forward to having him on many times. And I love to get his insight. This is more, Richard, than just him being obviously a sponsor. We want to make sure people go out there and support his business. But I'm more interested in getting Griff Gordy, the analyst, getting him on some broadcasts. I'm telling you, he doesn't understand. He's about to be our lead analyst for football, and I'm going to get him on a baseball broadcast. He thinks I'm playing with him, but it's going to happen. So you're going to see a lot of Griff Gordy, not just Gordy Eye Care, but a lot of Griff Gordy, because he wants to be involved and seeing the high school scene. And I'm all about guys like him who understand it and are willing to give back. Speaking of guys that give back to this community, Mike Woods. That's him. You know him. I know him. Everybody knows him because he's Mr. Basketball around this area. He's going to be joining us soon because he's got a special event we're going to be at tomorrow. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we got more here on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show.
Hello, everybody. This is DJ Jones with the Sports Vision's morning show for the best in local, regional, and national sports news. Weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
You can find the Sports Vision's morning show on Facebook, YouTube. Also, you can listen to us on Apple and Spotify by typing in the Sports Vision's morning show, and download the Sports Vision's radio app right now in your app store today.
We are the only live and local sports talk show in East Alabama, West Central Georgia. Sports Vision 92.1. We are your hometown sports guys.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
At Jack Houston Memorial Hospital, our focus is you. Even though we performed more than 1,300 joint replacements last year, we treat you like you are our only patient. Your surgeon explains your joint replacement, so nothing is a surprise. Our team knows your treatment plan, and we work together to get you back on your feet again. That's why our hospital is recognized year after year as a leader in patient satisfaction and quality of care. Jack Houston Memorial Hospital. Excellence, always.
Hi, my name is Griff Gordy, and here at Gordy Eye Care, we have been serving the Bi-City community for 17 years. As a former state championship quarterback, I love the fact that I can watch local high school athletics from the comfort of my own home. So it was a no-brainer to support Georgia Alabama Sports Live and what they do for young athletes in our area.
And without business like yourself, Gordy Eye Care, none of our coverage would be possible to be able to cover the 16 different high schools, the local colleges, and professional teams. So we'd like to say thank you to you, Dr. Griff Gordy and Gordy Eye Care, for your support of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And then you can make an appointment today at Gordy Eye Care with the number 334-291-5125. Keep supporting Gordy Eye Care and keep watching Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Going on right now at Glenn Smith and Opelika.
Both Chevy Silverado and Traverse are ready for you. Get supplier pricing today on all new Chevy Silverado 1500s with up to $13,500 off. Or get a loaded Traverse, the roomy Chevy SUV with third row seating, and enjoy up to $6,000 off.
Buy today and make no payments for 120 days.
Smart people from all over the USA buy from Glenn Smith Chevrolet.
Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. Rick Barringer, and that's him. We call him Rambler. He's frowning, he's moaning, he's groaning. But we'll bring on a guy that maybe will lighten him up and make him smile. Let's bring him up. His name is Coach Mike Woods. What's going on, Coach?
How y'all doing? How y'all doing, guys?
Doing excellent, man, and love to have you on as always. It's very fitting that we're kind of putting a tie up in the basketball season, and we got you on because you got a big event coming up. We'll get in that event in a moment here, Coach Woods. But, I've been saying some hot takes, man, and I ain't trying to put you out there. You ain't got to you can take the politically correct way, man, or you could add on to your opinion of it. But I've been saying right now, Kelly Ellison's team and her program is the best girls program going as of now for the last 4 years. You don't make it a 4 straight Final Fours, 3 straight state championships, and now replacing all that senior talent. She must be got something going on. And then I said Calvin Thomas and Pacelli the last 5 years, going back to Corey Black, has been the best boys program. You don't really have to say who the best are, but you agree that those are the top 2 right now. And do you like where basketball is at now that season is wrapped up?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Kelly is doing a great job over there. They've done a great job with the kids. I tell people all the time about the season that Hardaway's had, and a lot of it has to do with everybody's waiting on Rihanna. But before Rihanna got back, Jayla Todd did an exceptional job
No
at
doubt.
holding that team down and being the. I mean, she didn't play a lot of minutes last year. We knew that she had the IQ to take on and come follow behind Deja Burrell. But a lot of other people probably didn't know it. But she did a great job at leading that young team and keeping them just above float until Rihanna got back in. And once she got back in, that was all said and done. They have a talented group of young ladies over there. That got a good group of a nucleus of young ladies coming behind them. And if you like the Nature Boy said, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And so right now, she's the hottest topic in this city. And we was talking about this the other day, Thrift. It changes. I mean, Carver, when I coached back in the day, we were the top dog. Then later on, it became Sterling Hicks. Then it became Hunley and Columbus High with Joe Schiavone. They battled it out. Hunley took over for a while. Now Kelly is running the thing again. So that thing goes. The girls basketball. I just want to see it continue to grow because I'm so used to seeing talent just balance. And that's the only part I want to see. I want to see where night in and night out, when you go to a game, you don't know what to expect because the talent is just so good. So I think we got to do a better job in our youth divisions to getting kids more fundamentally sound. So whatever school they go to, it's going to be a dog fight every Friday night, every Tuesday, Friday night.
Big Rich.
Coach Woods, how you doing? Yeah, it's been a great basketball season. I've always appreciated seeing you at the games, as you love basketball, as you call basketball. You've seen a lot of great talent come out of this area. We even have local talent that's playing in the NCAA tournament right now, like Bellamy and Deuce Harper over there at Tennessee State, Bellamy over there at Troy, Charles Stone played at Kennesaw State. That's on the boys' side, but also on the girls' side, we've had a lot of success with A.K. Shelton playing over there at Hampton, Michaela Johnson playing over there at the University of New Orleans. Before Olivia Cochran at Louisville, we had Keisha Soignier over at UConn. Talk about why Columbus just.
Richard, don't you forget about Ladella English at Carver High School.
Ladella English, okay.
Ladella English. Ladella English from Carver. Listen, Ladella English from Carver High School went to the University of New Orleans. Tasha Taylor from Carver High School went to the University of Clemson. Malika Pickard, Zoe Pickett's mama, went to the University of Auburn.
Come on now.
Sequoia Griffin went to the University of South Florida. Danielle Anderson went to the University of Georgia State. Jaquetta Woods went to FAMU University. Brandon Hollingsworth went to FAMU University. Jennifer Long went to High Point University. And let me tell you something, Thrift and Richard. Almost every one of those kids I just named, they played on the same high school team at Carver High School, with the exception of Danielle Anderson. We had about 12 kids on a run at Carver High School, anywhere between 12 and 15 kids signed Division I basketball back to back. And that's how good we were back then. So there's a lot of kids that played and came through this area that, we don't even talk about, like we said, the legends like Loretta Cobb and all those guys. But just in that time frame, when you see the talent that's come through here, Lachelle Matthews played at Kendrick, went to Valdosta State. Rosetta Hollis went to Kennesaw State. I mean, there was some good, at one point in time.
Lawrence.
Yeah, Khalil Lawrence. At one time, Sterling Hicks we had like 6 kids from this same community went to Savannah State. So it's been some good basketball. And that's what I want. That's what I'm used to seeing. I'm used to seeing on any given night, you don't know who's going to win. When Carver and back in them days when Ladella and Tasha and them were playing, the big dogs were Spencer with Nikita Bell. and all those girls. So you went through those things, man, and it was a dog fight with playing against those teams every night. And then when you go across the water, and quite natural to play against Central. So it's some good basketball, and that's what I want to see. I mean, I think a lot of people in this area ain't used to seeing that stuff. But I ain't mean to cut you off, Richard, but I just had to get those up.
No, Mike, and that's why I want to have you on too, because I know a lot. For one, I'm young, and I know as much as I can know. And then Richard, not being from this area, we're all about, and nor will I ever say that this is the best era of basketball. And I know there's era before that, and people come up to us all the time. But Richard, go ahead. We'll have plenty of time to get into that.
I do think that when you're listing players like that, I'm guilty of this. I'm always going to leave somebody out. So I appreciate you, Mike, for helping me out with that. I do want to talk about the eras because not too long ago, Coach Sterling Hicks dominated girls basketball at Kendrick, making the multiple Final Four appearances, the 2 championship runs, putting players in the WNBA, undefeated seasons. Do you think that what Coach Kelly Ellison is doing could rival what Coach Hicks did 10 years ago?
Oh, you got to throw Anson there too, because he won 2 championships.
Well, yes. Anson Huntley won 2 championships as well, so I forgot to mention him. So
I mean, you again, when you talk about the eras, the only difference in the eras then versus the eras now, that on any given night back in those days, anybody could beat anybody. So it was big. It was a bigger reward then, because you had. I know. One year we had Columbus High, Carver, Kendrick, and Columbus High, Carver, Kendrick, and someone else. All 4 of us was in the Final Four.
Yeah, 2017, right?
Yeah. So this is back when I was coaching in high school. So we had Kendrick. I think Kendrick lost to Columbus High lost to St. Pius that year. Kendrick lost to somebody, and we lost to Stevenson. So I mean that's when Carver was actually in the highest classification. See, Carver, we went to the Final Four. With Malika Pickers, I think her sophomore junior year, my daughter Jaquella's first year, we went to the Final Four and played Stevenson High School. That Carver was the highest classification to anybody in this city. We were in 5A at that time. Nobody else has ever been in 5A up until now. Northside was fixed to be in 6A, but it was. I mean, not to throw any salt on what the young lady, what Kelly and them are doing and what Anson is doing. When they were doing it, they're just dominating everybody. Back then, you go over to Spencer High School, it's a dog fight. You go to Columbus High School, it's a dog fight. You go to Kendrick High School, it's a dog fight. So Carver, it was legitimate, Richard. 6 teams in this city every night. It was a good ball game. Back then, Richard, girls basketball was so good. They were switching the girls, and the girls were playing last, and the boys were playing first.
Yeah, and Mike, I do want you to talk about that. And I think that's the biggest difference with the errors, Mike, is that the great teams now could have played back then. I really do believe. I think there's a lot of great players now, Hardaway, Carver from a few years ago. But the difference is the parity in it. Because especially this year, Hardaway and Carver, that was pretty much it in that region. No offense to any of the other teams, but you saw it. When Carver and Hardaway played anyone else aside from Sumter County, they won by 35 points or 40 points. I didn't see that back then when you were playing. They were every night. It was a grind. It was a dog fight. You were going to get the best. And I think that's the difference is the parity, especially within the Muskogee County School District. Let's just be honest. We're talking more about that. The parity is not there as much. It's really heavy, especially girls basketball, predicated towards right now Hardaway and Carver.
Hey, listen, y'all. Let me go back a little. When you're talking about Jern, who's you don't even mention them when it comes down to basketball anymore. At one point in time, Jern High School was the dominant. Listen, Tawana Dixon and Isabel Powell, Sharon Warren. Her name is Sharon Calhoun. She keeps the clock for Carver now. But they were. I mean, Jern was talented. It was so talented. Every year, Sam Kegler came out. The year I came out, we came out together. We both left Marshall. She went to Jordan, and I went to Columbus High School. But what I'm talking about, on any given night, man, you didn't know who was going to win those games, man. It was year after year talent. Back then, Marshall was just loaded. You would have half of Marshall go to Jordan and half of Marshall go to Columbus High School. So it was, and it's always a big rival. But the Benita Porch and all these ladies. I mean, these are people that came on after Loretta and them came on. But basketball was huge. And again, like you saying, Thrift, that's what I would love to see. I would love to see that when you pay your $10, you're going to see a good basketball game, not a 60-point blowout. You want to see the game. So that's what I'm trying to focus back on, trying to get back into help get with Kendall. Kendall allowed me to do well, I'll take that back. Jeff started last year, allowed me to do the B League, or to give the kids more reps on the floor, because we got to get back to that foundation, send that foundation where these kids are getting the basics. Because a lot of these kids to get into school, man, middle school, and they decide they want to play ball and they have no clue. But that's I ain't gonna keep rambling. Go ahead, guys.
And you're talking about that when you're talking about guys with the B League, it's a lot of middle school teams and players that maybe don't get significant playing time on the middle school team. This allows them an opportunity to play in your league. And now we got a bigger pool of talented players that are going on the next level. And I think that's the biggest thing, guys, is you can tell the players that are developed. Look at Marlana White. You texted me Marco Battles' nephew. I think you said, is that nephew?
No, that's his grandson, Tyler Matthews.
Grandson. Yeah, Tyler, a freshman playing for Carver. Yeah, these are some talented players. We need a lot more of them going to a bunch of different schools so we can have a very competitive balance. But that's another whole topic. We can have a whole show on that, Mike. Let's go ahead and talk about why you are here, because you got a big thing going on tomorrow. Rich, I sent you the wrong thing. That is definitely not the PDF. That was Mike sent me. Mike sent me that. That was the rankings. By the way, I do want to say shout out to my guy, Mike Pickard, who is one of my best friends. I call him P. And P's been calling me out. And I already know what's going to happen. Mike, I'm telling you right now, if Cardaway wins that championship, the number 10 ranking, that screenshot is going to – and listen, I don't care. I'm all here for it, Mike. I know you are too. I'm all about use us as motivation. But Rich, let's talk about the event. I'm going to send you that flyer. But, Mike, I'm going to let you talk about what you got coming up tomorrow. We got a WNBA player coming to Columbus, Georgia.
Michaela Timpson, one of the young ladies who played in our travel basketball program, met her, got a chance to go down to Albany, Georgia for an all-star game some years back, and saw this young lady, invited her to come up for our tryouts. And she's from Edison, Georgia, and her dad was a pastor. And he spoke. He said, look, if you can get practice after 4 o'clock, she'll be there. And sure enough, at 3:45, they beat everybody, all the local kids, to the gym. And this kid was a tremendous part of the growth. I mean, they just gave her, the parents committed. And that's the one thing you don't see a lot of. Those parents committed, man. They would drive an hour and a half, and we practice on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That kid would be there on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It didn't matter, man. And she worked her butt off. So she went on to Florida State. She's I think the all-time leading shot blocker, rebounder, most double-doubles in the history of Florida State. She one of the top scorers in Florida State history, and she did all that in 3 years, really, because the first year she didn't play as much. Her last 3 years, she was a third or fourth option on her team, and she was able to accomplish all that and stayed humble all the time. Never thought about transferring from Florida State. Did everything she needed to do, and you guys were there when she got drafted by the Indiana Fever. They are pouring so much into her. She went overseas after the season, had a great season overseas. Then she turned around and she got selected to play in Unrivaled. She was one of the alternates for the Unrivaled League. And then her teammate, Aaliyah Boston, got hurt, and she ended up replacing her, and her team ended up playing in the championship. So, so excited. What we're doing tomorrow, we have an event tomorrow. We're renaming our travel basketball program in honor of her to KK Elite.
Okay.
And we're gonna retire her jersey. Nobody will wear the number 21 ever at KK in this organization. We're gonna retire her jersey tomorrow in a big ceremony there. She's gonna come, talk, speak, sign autographs, and just be her tomorrow. So looking forward to everybody. We've sent out. Hey, and check this out. And I'm glad I'm getting a chance to say this. When I tell you Thrift, we send it out to all the high school coaches. We send it out to all the middle school coaches. There's no reason if you're not Kelly Ellison, there's no reason for your children not to be in the gym to try to get a chance to talk with a pro and understand what it takes, all the different things you go through, all the ups and downs that you have to go through in order to be successful in it. You know, there was some games this year where she didn't play. But there was a lot of games that she'd come in and she'll play and she'd do very well. So they're doing great things with her and in Indiana with the Indiana Fever. She's on the roster. She's under contract. They're looking for her to be one of the next superstars in the WNBA. So I'm excited to have her. She's gonna come in. She's always whatever I call her, no matter what I call her, she is always gonna answer the phone. So I'm excited. But I just would love for the coaches, and I'll say it again, for the coaches to tell their kids, to get their kids to come in and be a part and just come in and get an autograph signed and just get a chance to hear somebody who made it, who came from an area, even though she's not from here, but she was from here, from all her, she stayed in this city all the time playing basketball. This is what she got. And she'll tell you that if it wasn't for this platform what we gave her, who knows what would have happened for her. So we just want all the people, man, to stop. And let's be real. And I'm going to say this, that Thrift, stop hating. And no matter what program your kid is with, no matter what high school your kid is with, if you're not playing basketball, you're not practicing for a state championship, you should have passed the word on this morning when I sent the text message out to all the high school coaches and all the girls' middle school coaches. You should be willing to come in and have a talk with her and have your kids to talk with them, because we speak so much on how undisciplined our kids are, how they're too privileged, and they think everything is easy, and it's not. It's a money thing for them. I heard Griff talking about it earlier, about the NIL and all that stuff. It's a business now, but you better understand it ain't easy. And if you continue to think it's easy, you're fooling yourself. So hear it from somebody who knows how hard it is, and the difficulties and the hard time. And she's one of the most humble people. You can get a chance to see it. Both of y'all guys tomorrow, y'all get a chance to see how humble, what kind of person she really is. It's gonna be great tomorrow.
I can't wait for it. We're going to be doing something unique. We'll have Mike Woods and Collab in here, and we're going to be doing a show, asking questions. It's going to be a lot of fun. You'll be able to see it on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. But I'm telling everyone, and I'm going to piggyback off what you're saying, Mike, before I let you out of here. Don't be petty. This is something good for the entire community. There is no reason why male or female, but it's specifically young female athletes, why seeing a girl that looks like them or come from this area, literally from humble beginnings, why would you not want them getting her story, her background? Makes no sense. And Mike, you keep doing this again over and over for the community, and I'm very appreciative of it. And I'm always going to be an advocate for what you do, man. So thank you so much, brother, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Appreciate it, guys.
That's Mike Woods. We'll be there live tomorrow from Girls Inc. You see it. We'll throw it up one more time. I'm going to see if I can find that slide, Rich. Actually, maybe you can throw it up because it disappeared on me. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we have more here on live from the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show, including we're going to be dropping soccer rankings coming up next. You don't want to go anywhere. It's late night edition on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. And thank y'all so much for tuning in. We'll be right back right after this.
Welcome to the Campus Academy Private School, where every student is celebrated for their individuality. With personalized curriculum, students unlock their potential, growing into confident learners. At the Campus Academy, we give teachers the freedom to create dynamic classrooms where every student's voice is heard. Discover the difference. Enroll your
Hi, my name is Griff Gordy, and here at Gordy Eye Care, we have been serving the Bi-City community for 17 years. As a former state championship quarterback, I love the fact that I can watch local high school athletics from the comfort of my own home. So it was a no-brainer to support Georgia Alabama Sports Live and what they do for young athletes in our area.
And without business like yourself, Gordy Eye Care, none of our coverage would be possible. To be able to cover these 16 different high schools, the local colleges, and professional teams. So we'd like to say thank you to you, Dr. Griff Gordy and Gordy Eye Care, for your support of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And then you can make an appointment today at Gordy Eye Care with the number 334-291-5125. Keep supporting Gordy Eye Care and keep watching Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Welcome back, everyone. Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. You see it there. Meet KK, Bakayla Timpson, who played at Florida State, now plays in the WNBA tomorrow, live from Girls Inc. We cannot wait for that. What do we got going for the rest of this week? Well, we got a busy schedule coming up here, and I am looking at the schedule right now. Tomorrow, We have, as Central did take down Columbus. Tomorrow we got Lakeside and Calvary baseball. We got Jonesboro, Harris County doubleheader at baseball. Spain Park, Glenwood baseball, and then Valley Smith Station softball on Friday. Prattville Smith Station soccer. Chelsea Smith Station at 5. Providence Smith Station doubleheader, and a doubleheader for Glenwood. Providence and Alma Bryant. So busy baseball these next couple of days. Then we'll be live, hopefully, from Macon. Had some difficulties with the getting credentials, so we're going to try to make that happen, but we probably may not, but we'll be in full support, and we got CVCC coming up as well. Thank you to Griff Gordy. Also, thank you to our guy, Mike Woods, for joining us. And tomorrow, don't forget, we have the Sports Visions Awards Luncheon, 11 o'clock. First, we're going to be live in the morning, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., as always, and then at 11 o'clock, guess what? You're going to be able to see this Sports Visions San Mark Foundation Awards Luncheon presented by Sports Visions on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And we're going to be interviewing some of the player of the years. We're going to have doing something unique this year, and we're going to be live on both platforms. So there's no reason why you should not tune in. So we hope you do that. We drop our baseball power rankings. Make sure to go like them. We were going to do soccer today, but right now Rich is having technical difficulties. Rich, are you there with us?
We lost power. So I'm actually
Richard, it's all right. And I was going to say that Richard lost power in the middle of the show. Rich, if you don't mind, let's get the soccer rankings up real quick.
Yeah,
we're going to get out of here.
Lost all my graphics too. So I'm trying to load the graphics.
Don't worry about it, Richard. Let's just wrap it up. We'll drop soccer rankings. We're going to drop them tonight. We'll drop them on Sunday. Let's just quickly wrap up River Dragons talk. We've already done. Let's talk Columbus State. They were on the road traveling to Carson Newman. They play tonight, Rich. How did the Columbus State women's team do?
I don't have a clue. I have not been able to see them. I've been I have no internet.
Yeah, well, we lost Richard there. He just has again having bad internet, so we apologize for everyone. As it's been a very informing show. Looking forward to our Griff Gordy Eye Care, and excited about that. And having his partnership. By the way, the Cougars Columbus State women's program play Carson Newman on Friday. So I am wrong about that. They left today to head up there. I saw that because I saw Jimbo Davis. So we are cheering on as they take on Carson Newman, the number 5 seed. Carson Newman comes in on the season as a really good team that I'm looking forward to seeing how that game's going to play out here. If you look, they are 21-10 in their and 15-7 in their conference. They did play some teams that Columbus State had to play. They play Lander, they play USC Aiken, Clayton State, and North Georgia this year. They did lose to Coker in their SAC, the SAC tournament championship. They did make it to it. So they'll be taking on Columbus State. That will be on Friday. So we'll be cheering on the women's team. I think the women have no problem with them. Problem is, if they win, they take on Lenore Ryan, who's the number 1 seed in that region. That could be a tough ask. But I will tell you, Columbus State was a conference championship away from being a number 1 seed. So technically, in my opinion, that game, if they're able to get past Carson Newman, could be a potential 2 number 1 seeds in a second round. So if it's more Lenore Ryan, they should be scratching there like, dang, how do we match up with them? They were potentially going to be hosting a site. Now they're a 4 seed, which I think is kind of mind-boggling. Let's talk about the men's program. They play on Saturday against Catawba College. They did play Catawba earlier this year, as we talked with Jack Patterson, and they lost 97-72 in Morrow. Catawba took them to the woodshed, but that was back in November. This is a totally different Columbus State team since that moment. So we'll see if they're able to take down. And I think it does help the fact that they lost to them. So maybe that is motivation. I think always the losing team has that extra motivation. And then on top of it, they know what they're looking forward to, being able to play them. So they don't have to just watch film. They actually played them already. And by the way, Catawba is also 23-8 on the season. Both teams with 23 wins. They lost to Anderson in their conference tournament championship but they did beat Lenore Ryan. So they'll be taking on Columbus State. Columbus State's the 6th seed in that region, and the Catawba is the 3 seed. It will be on the NCAA Tournament Championship Pass. You can go watch it on NCAAtournament.com and go to ColumbusState.com as well. Thank y'all so much for watching. It's been a great show here tonight, and we'll see you bright and early tomorrow on the Sports Vision Morning Show and at the Sports Visions Awards Luncheon. Thank y'all so much for watching. Everyone have a great night. Stay safe. It's going to be raining here, and we'll see you next time on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show.